What did you expect? Welcome, Sonny. Make yourself at home. Marry my daughter. You've got to remember that these are just simple farmers. These are people of the land. The common clay of the New West. You know. Morons.
Welcome to Morons Make Sense. I am your host, Moron, Sam Munoz, and I'm here with my fellow morons, Ublester Peñalosa II, and the dragon, Arturo Targaryen. That's right.
Thank you.
I swear, I just thought of that right now.
Very, very appropriate.
Yeah, that was completely improvised. I've never said that before. And today we're going to be talking about Game of Thrones, all things Game of Thrones, including the new series House of the Dragon. We've never talked about Game of Thrones on Morons Make Sense, so we're going to do our general thoughts.
Which is surprising because I don't shut up about it.
You don't?
For the most part.
Yeah.
If someone brings it up, you're
It just
fucking...
comes up.
You need to give yourself at least 45, 50 minutes if you're going to bring it up to me.
Question before we dive in. Did you go through a period of time where you tried to get people into Game of Thrones and they just didn't? And like 2-3 years later, like they were all about it. You're like, I've been fucking telling you for the past fucking years.
I'm going to be honest. Sorry, Sam. I'm going to answer this one first. I'm going to be honest. I was actually on the other end. I was the one that was convinced
It makes sense
to watch this show.
It makes sense to
First
me.
of all,
First
of all, I wasn't part of the 1% that had access to HBO.
Here we go.
I
Always
was
bringing up this
I
shit.
think at that time I was lucky to have like VH1, MTV, and Comedy Central.
What was it, the 90s? You know, Game of Thrones came out like...
It was a cable package.
It
It was a cable package that came with VH1, MTV, and
So
Comedy
in
Central.
2011, you were still watching VH1.
I think so, yeah. I was
Didn't
watching
even
them.
exist at that
What
point.
are
I
you,
feel.
a
No, there
50-year-old
was.
man or something? What the fuck?
I'm telling you, I just don't remember having access to HBO at that time. It was only one season, though. It's not like it was fucking fifth season. It was during the first season that my friend Oscar Flores wouldn't shut up about it. He kept on insisting.
On the what season, sorry?
Season 1. So it was on the first season that he kept talking about it. And I was like, yeah, dude, I don't have HBO. I don't know what you want me to do. I'm sure it's a great show. Peace out. And then when season 2 was going to premiere, eventually I was like, all right, fuck. He was going to go to a viewing party and I wanted something to do. So I was like, okay, let me look into this whole Game of Thrones thing. And season 2, episode 1 fucking grabbed me.
So you saw that before seeing season 1?
I saw that before seeing season 1. If you remember,
so you
it
fucking
had a
got
lot.
spoiled the
Yeah.
fucking Ned
Dude,
Stark.
I mean, whoa,
It had,
spoiler alert for anyone who hasn't seen it.
yeah.
Yeah, if you haven't seen
Fuck
it.
no. We're doing spoilers, man.
I mean, no, I agree, but like
Fuck out of here if you haven't seen this.
the fact that Boromir died in season
exactly.
1.
But see, I think I remember that viewing party, me being more about like, I'm here to have a beer and socialize. These nerds are watching this show, so maybe I'll glance at what's happening from time to time. But for the most part, I'm just gonna be here to socialize. So when I decided to go back and watch episode 1, season 1, and the rest of the season, it was still fresh to me.
Gotcha.
To where the ending of season 1 was still a surprise and a fucking mind fuck to me. And that just... Did you guys read any of the books while watching this?
No, not until afterwards.
I read them afterwards as well.
Yeah.
Well, during the season. So after I watched the first season, then I started reading the first book. And after I watched the second season, I read the second book.
I never read
so
past myself. Just I still wanted to keep.
Yeah, I wanted not to know what happens, and
Got
also
it,
like
got it.
The books always give you more detail and stuff. So
Yes.
once you see the show, it was like, all right, I'm ready to like know about more of it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
so then I want to read the books and everything. But yeah, what we're gonna say.
I was gonna say it's really interesting to me that at season 2 there was already a premiere party like happened. There's already that was happening.
And
I got into the show season 3. Because
Wow.
But just the fact that I was already having eventually it got there, but like this show took everyone by fucking storm at some point.
Yeah.
Like, everyone and their grandmothers
man.
were watching it.
No one shut the fuck up about
like-
it. Everyone was talking about
Everybody jumped on the bandwagon, that's for sure.
Not this guy.
Nah, that motherfucker.
Oh,
yeah.
yeah.
I still haven't
I mean,
seen
You
it.
haven't seen The Godfather.
Boo Noel. Boo Earns. Yeah, no, I did read the books, and I think like you guys, I didn't read it after season like you did, Sam. I think it was around season 3 that I was like, I want to go back and read the books on what's happened in the past 3 seasons and as far as the books go. And then after that, I kept reading. So seasons 1, 2, and 3 were a complete surprise to me. And then 4, 5, 6, and 7 were already kind of, I know where this is going.
By 6 and 7, it was past the book.
But yeah, it was past the book.
7 was past the book. 6 was still
It was 6.
So 4,
6
5,
had
and 6.
6 was passed as well, but it was still touching on some things in the books, if I remember correctly. Like
it might have been.
Some of the parts went past.
The point is that I read the books
Yeah.
after season 3 and what happened. So it was cool fucking seeing visually what they refer to in the books, the fucking different houses, which the stories, the all right, let's talk about the universe as far as
I mean,
Westeros.
incredibly intricate.
To me, what was interesting was the drama, the political drama that's happening.
And that's what I used to convince people to watch it. Honestly, it was like because people were like, like I don't know if I'm into fantasy. I'm like, no. Like everyone has a common goal, and that's what they're going after. And everything else is about treachery, backstabbing, sex, and like that's what got people into it.
So here's the funny thing. So the person that got me into Game of Thrones was a former guest of this show, Richmond Ramus, who got me into it after the first season had aired. And he's like, "You got to watch this show. It's really good." But he sold me on it because of the White Walkers. I was really into Walking Dead at the time and zombies and stuff. And he's like, "There's some zombie stuff going on here. I think you'll really like it." And then it also takes place in medieval world. And I was like, "Oh, cool, yeah,
medieval
zombies.
world.
I love zombies. Whatever, medieval world, cool." And when I watched
It was a
it,
Renaissance fair.
when I watched it, it wasn't so much the White Walkers and all that that magic stuff that got me. It was the political drama that got me.
Yeah.
I loved
Power
the
struggles
backstabbing and fucking Littlefinger and various
The different positions. I liked like the whole arrangement of the system, which is you have your king and you have your hand, which is like your vice president. Then you have your mason and your grand mason. Then you have your
Maester.
I was gonna say, like Mason. Isn't Mason like the guy who
Mason
creates
is the guy that
like
creates
the jars?
Maester. I'm sure the king has his own mason as well. What if the king wanted his own?
The scene from Ghost.
You don't know that the king didn't have his own mason, all right, Arturo? What if he had a very unique taste for bowls?
Shit, that's not the book I read.
I'm just saying I like that system. I like how George R. Martin created this system where it was,
It's a world, right?
Yeah, I mean everything.
You have all kinds of traditions going on. I mean, he was very influenced by Tolkien, and he wanted to create basically Lord of the Rings that's more adult and actually a little bit more grounded.
And I love how dense it was. Like, and I felt none of it was like spoon fed. Like you actually had to pay attention, and I fucking love that because you don't often get that.
Yeah.
Even now. Like, I feel like there's so much that has to be spoon-fed, unfortunately.
Yes.
But the fact that it went, okay, here are fucking 20 characters.
Figure it out as you go along.
Figure it out. You have to remember who slept with who killed who.
Whose house is whose.
Exactly. Like, no, there's just like, I remember when I first started, 'cause I remember my cousin, Chala, thank you so much for introducing me to it. He was watching he had seen season 1 on his own. I kind of hadn't heard of it, but season 2, I was kind of around for him watching it. And I'm like, fuck, it looks really interesting. I need to get into it. And then I remember distinctly once I got into it or started to watching from the beginning, I would have to read a recap on what had just happened before jumping into the next episode at the very beginning, because there was so much that was just I wanted to make sure I got the right way and this and that, and it was so important for me to get the facts right and not be surprised along the way that I did that in the very beginning.
Yeah, I think a lot of people had to print out their own cheat sheets that had
family trees,
like the family trees, the different houses, whose name is whose.
I love the complexities.
Oh,
the complexity
exactly.
was great, and one of the things that one of the things I love about the new series is it's kind of a return to what the first couple of seasons of Game of Thrones were. Like, and you're getting a lot of more of that political drama that I really loved about the original show. Yeah. But anyways, I'm
just gonna one thing, because I think it's really important to me, and I feel like maybe some of the audience members, because I still think it's too soon to talk about season 8. I'm still not over it. But the fact of how this show started, the new one, to me, it felt like I was coming home after a long travels. and not realizing how homesick I was until I was back.
Yeah,
that's what that.
I
impact
think
had on me.
I think this new series realize. I mean, they realized obviously
Yeah.
after the how the last two seasons of Game of Thrones were received by the audience, that you need to go back to what made Game of Thrones Game of Thrones.
Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, the
no
last
Ed
two.
Sheeran.
The last two fucking seasons were just nothing but a spectacle, and it took
Yeah.
away all of the drama that we loved about Game of Thrones, and yeah,
100% agree.
and so now we're kind of back to this sort of political drama. There's a lot of talking, which is fine with me. Like it was okay. We've talked a little bit about what we love about Game of Thrones. So I also
Yeah.
we've
And the
talked about
characters
this
too. I mean,
We've talked about this a little bit in a previous episode. I don't remember what episode it was, but I actually
Without
kind of
me?
blame the fans, because there was a moment around like season 4 and 5 where there was a lot of, and the social media is so fucking corrupted with
remember
people.
now.
Like
Yeah.
fans just coming out that it's too slow. We need more
Hurry it
wars and
up.
we need more
Yeah.
battles. Like
Why
hurry
does it take
up.
so long to get to point A from
Yeah,
point B?
yeah. And I think these people who might have been the minority,
but the
kind
problem
of
is they're the
ruined it.
loudest.
They're
That's
the loudest,
that's
but they
always
kind
the
of
issue.
ruined it. But it's like we talked about this.
And we
It's
talked
also
about
the
this.
creators' fault because they listen
Exactly,
to them.
exactly, and that's what it comes down to. Is no matter what you do, you're always going to have a fan base that doesn't like what you did and thinks it should have gone a different way. So the secret is not, oh, they should not have listened to their fans that were crying about wanting things to move faster. That's not what it is. The secret is they should not have gone for the big money and the easy way and saying,
They should have said, "Fuck you.
yeah,
we're gonna
fuck
keep
you.
doing what
gonna-
we're doing."
Exactly. We're not gonna be tending to your needs.
Yeah, it made no sense to do the last two episodes as like six and 7 episodes
just
or whatever. It made no sense. You could have done
stupid.
2 full seasons of 10 episodes and
Dumb,
told the
dumb.
story well and intricately as it should have been told.
Yeah.
And I don't. I think also that the what are the name of the fucking creators? The two guys.
Double D's.
Yeah,
Fuckhead 1 and 2.
Dumb and Dumber. Dumb and
And
Dumber.
you can't. Here's another thing. You can't be so pissed
Absolutely.
off at them.
Absolutely
David
Dumb and Dumber.
Benioff and DB Weiss or whatever the fuck
Yeah.
it is. The Double D's, and I can't believe Double D's are
No, I can be
being
mad at them.
being
I can be
so-
fucking mad at them.
I can be mad at
Because like
them.
the first time they had an
Easily.
opportunity to actually do something
Yeah.
on their own, that's when they fucking butchered the shit out of it.
They got greedy.
Yeah, but
Every
they
single
also
time they based their works off of George.
If it
then
wasn't
was
for
great.
them, Game of Thrones would never have gone
That-
on
No,
the
then-
show.
and I don't,
And they
I don't
did
deny that, but it was
5
the
to
idea
6
that they felt like,
seasons.
oh, I know best. I'm gonna do this now. I'm gonna rush through this
Yeah.
because they were rushing to do their fucking Star Wars trilogy, which I'm glad got
by the
fucking
way,
canceled.
yeah, exactly.
I think they were just-
Arturo. Amen.
Here's the-
Hallelujah.
Here's the thing. There's a lot of things going on here because first of all, George R. Martin should have fucking finished the books by now. It's also partly your fault for not fucking finishing the books.
Yep.
You've had over a decade for fuck's sake since
Yeah. And there
since
have
the
been-
last book, since the 5th book. But it also the Double D guys, the Double D's over here. I mean, you have to give them credit for bringing the show to fruition. They gave us 5 great
Yeah.
seasons. I think
No.
there's 5
No
great
one's-
seasons here,
no, like,
and even the
no one's
6th
denying
season
that.
is
And
not
even-
bad.
even me,
7
no
and
one's
8
denying
are the
that.
bad
Mr.
ones.
Optimist over here, I'll even stretch it to 7.
There you
I
go.
will stretch it to 7.
No, 7
I'm gonna
is bad.
stay, but yeah, I'm gonna keep it back to 6.
6, there's 5 great seasons. 6 is decent.
Halfway.
And 7 and 8 are bad.
Yeah.
They're just that's when
I absolutely agree.
they just fucking say like we just gotta make all the battles. We gotta kill
Yeah.
enough. We gotta kill enough of the people off. And
Yep.
it's just
The whole-
it was just,
the
we
whole-
just gotta get
I
to.
will
We
just
gotta
say
get to.
dragons.
The whole Jamie
That's it.
Lannister going, Jamie Lannister and Bronn going over to Dorne. That whole fucking storyline didn't make any sense, and I think that was season 6.
And that's not
kind
in the
of where it
books.
started.
Yeah.
Exactly. That's kind of where it started going downhill. Where I was like, this doesn't make any sense, character-wise, story-wise, timing-wise. What is
I get
going
what they
on?
were trying to do. The thing is that
No.
if you instead of it, because they would have had to introduce even more characters. The
Yeah.
show, if you read the books are huge.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's why George R. R. Martin hasn't been able to finish
they're bigger
them.
than Sam. The pages are like 4.
Fucking huge.
No, I'm
You
talking
need a
about there were
flatbed.
way more characters. People complain about how many characters they had to follow on
Yep.
the TV show.
Yep.
Follow the books. There are way more characters.
Yes.
And the thing is that if you would have had to introduce an entire Dornish family that doesn't exist in the books, And I think what they were
Until
trying
later.
to do is like, let's keep these characters that we know, send them to Dorne to get that part in the books that happens. And
Fan base, yeah.
Not the fan base. It was more about just.
I think a lot of fans at the time were complaining about what's going on with Dorne in the books. This and this was happening in Dorne.
I mean, there was two different audiences to listen to. You had the audience that read the books, and then you had your audience that were just the general TV
There was
show
more
audience.
than two. Then you had your audience that just wanted the nudity, and there was your audience that just
Well, that
wanted
was
the
me.
action.
I mean,
Figured I would bring it
if
up.
there's anything wrong with the new series, is there's not enough floppy dicks. We need some more
What is
floppy
it?
dicks in the new
fuck?
series.
How does
Up,
the
no?
song?
Oh my god! What did you just
Jesus
say?
I was
Christ!
trying to bring us some Game of Thrones nudity.
Oh fuck!
That is
I don't think.
I'm putting this on the episode.
Okay, good.
You should with the blur.
No.
Just put the blur.
Oh, don't even do that, man. I regret ever looking in that
My
direction.
son watches these episodes. he is 7 months old.
He does.
He doesn't know what boobs are yet. Well,
No.
he does
No,
actually.
he very
He
much
loves
does.
boobs, so he'll probably be like, mama.
Yeah. everyone watching this is probably like, what the fuck? Or-
Floppy wieners.
So I will say, okay, let me kind of just bounce around here. Is I have read some fan-made endings to what Game of Thrones could have been,
Dude,
and I fucking
not ready
get
to talk about
goosebumps,
that,
man. I
man.
know you're not ready to talk about it, but it has to be talked about. The viewers are wanting it. They need to have closure, just like we do. And I feel like if you go online, there's one specific ending that I
You
fucking
told me
love.
about it. You told me it's
Wait,
Jamie
Target.
Lannister.
I saw your goosebumps.
What is
Here.
these fan made up endings?
So obviously there's a lot of fans that disagree with the way it ended, which fucking spoiler, Bran, fucking the guy
Bran
in the
becomes
wheelchair,
king.
becomes
Bran
king.
the Broken.
Bran the Broken, he can't use his legs because in season 1, episode 1, he gets pushed off of a fucking tower for seeing something he should have seen. And I guess this was
how
their
that
way
goes
of
full circle
that
on
you're
that
gonna
one.
like not disclose, but everything else.
he saw Jamie Lannister having intimate relations with his
Cersei
sister,
Lannister.
Cersei Lannister, and
Which I thought
he
was
just
very
pushed him.
hot, by the
The
way.
things I do for love, and he
Great
just
sex.
fucking pushes him off of the fucking tower
The things I do for love.
and pushes him off. That
pretty sure
that
those
scene
song
was
lyrics.
oof. That scene was incredible. Anyway, to have him be the king fucking sucks. So they're fan made. They're
wasn't-
fan made. No, it does. It does suck, especially the way it
It's
was
not-
presented. Who
It
better?
was always supposed to
Who
be
better?
Aegon Targaryen, the fucking 8th, or whatever.
Who
Jon
better
Snow
than
was.
fucking
You mean
Bronn the
Jon
Broken?
Snow?
I don't
Yes.
know. 50 different fucking people could have been better than Bronn the Broken. I don't know why.
Jon, Daenerys, Tyrion.
Well,
Fucking
okay.
one
so
of the
to-
White
wait,
Walkers.
to defend the ending.
Wait a minute. You're defending the ending?
I
Get
think you
outta
guys
here.
are just
Get
being
the
a little
fuck
bit
outta
too
here.
harsh.
No, we're not.
You
man.
need to have. You need
Dude,
to have.
this is one of the
so
few
many
things that
fucking years leading up to
100%.
Daenerys' character just to have her. Okay,
This is
really?
one of the few
Actually,
things
I
that
have no
100%
problem-
of the internet agrees
Stop,
with.
stop,
This
stop,
is one of
stop,
the few
no,
things.
Well, I don't care. Fuck you, internet. Here we go.
Wow.
The whole thing with Daenerys Targaryen turning, that made perfect sense
That made
to me.
zero sense. This
Yes,
How?
everything
it makes
within the
perfect
past
sense.
7 seasons was
Go
explaining
back
how
and watch
different
it.
she was from her entire lineage,
Go
dude.
back and watch it.
No,
There are
why?
many
It makes
moments.
no
Why
fucking
don't you
sense.
just tell me now?
There are
Tell me
many
now without me
moments.
having
There
to
are
watch
many
it.
moments.
What moments?
Okay, can I tell
Yeah,
you some?
you can say, go.
For one thing, she ends up killing all of the slavers and crucifying them, basically, whatever
Right,
she does.
bad
crucifying
was
them.
people,
not a- that-
right?
yeah,
Bad
bad
people that
people.
deserve
Yeah,
the
was not
worst.
a
she
bad
ends up
king
killing.
situation.
She ends up killing one of if I remember what I don't remember what
Justified?
episode. One of the servants that she
remember.
had because he took vengeance on one of the slavers and he ended up killing that person because she
She had to
wanted
make an
to.
example
Justify.
out of him.
No, it
Justify.
wasn't. It wasn't
None of
just
this was insanity.
Justified.
Which is all of a sudden season 8 just made it to be crazy.
No, she's
Yes.
the whole. Go back and watch.
Sam,
there is
no.
a
Sam,
definite
no.
buildup
Okay.
of
No,
Daenerys
no, there is
Targaryen
not.
turning.
No,
There
there
is
is
a
not.
Sam,
And
there
hold
is a
on, hold
difference
on, hold
between-
on. Hold on, I'm not done yet because throughout the whole series, there are hints of like I have a little bit of my father in me. I have a little who is, if you know what
The entire
the
show was
he
showing
is
how
the
different
insane.
she was.
No, but she wasn't that different.
She was.
No, she was always going. She was
haven't seen
always
the
a
same
little
show.
crazy.
Sam,
No, we need to
Sam.
go back and rewatch it. You need to go
Sam,
back. The turning
Sam.
of Daenerys is not what makes it bad.
It's
What
not. It
makes
contributes
bad-
to it.
No,
It contributes
no.
to it.
Turning Daenerys
To say that it
turning
doesn't have
makes
anything to
sense.
do, it doesn't make sense, dude. You spend this many seasons
Everything
And
was taken from her.
No, but
why
I get
wouldn't
it.
she
Listen,
be pissed? Everything was taken from her.
I absolutely get that she would be pissed and that she would direct. If it turned out that at the end of the season she took a bunch of guilty criminals, skinned them alive, and flagged them in front of a crowd, I wouldn't care because they're guilty, and it's still in some way. It's what she was about, which is punishing the guilty and helping the innocent. But
the thing is that she punishes someone who isn't guilty.
She just goes and straight up kills innocent people.
Out of
Kids
fucking
and
nowhere.
She
women
doesn't
and
think
children.
they're
Out of
innocent.
nowhere, dude.
She doesn't think they're innocent.
Because of association?
Because they are
that's a
the
fucked up
Andals.
thing.
Dude, you even
At
see
no
it in the
point-
behind the scenes when they're at the table reading, and they're all like, "What the fuck?"
They thought the actors themselves thought that the ending where Braun becomes king was a joke
Even
ending.
before the ending,
That
and the
they
other
had to
characters' deaths.
perform.
And
I
as they
believe
were reading, they're
here's-
like, "What
you
the
guys
fuck
have
is
to
happening?"
first. You have to also take into account that George R. R. Martin,
J.J.
George
Abrams?
R. R. Martin.
Tolkien.
I mixed in Tolkien
George
and
R.R. Tolkien, J.
Abrams,
George
Martin.
R. R. Martin
Spielberg.
Abrams.
from Coldplay.
Lucas.
Seuss.
Gave them an outline. Gave them an outline as to some of the plot points and endings that were happening, and I think Daenerys Targaryen was always meant to turn. And I do think that there are more than enough hints throughout the series in which she is turning, and she shows. And there are many talks about how
Look,
I don't want to be like my
okay.
father.
No,
all
I
of
get
these
it, bro.
things, and
I get it.
it's hinted
Listen,
on over and over
Listen,
again.
Here's the one thing that I would have accepted is if she turned because of something that Jon Snow directly did to her, like a betrayal on that level.
They
But
kill,
they
Melissa-
killed her maid.
Nowhere.
They killed her friend.
She was one of
her
the closest
advisor.
friends she
Sure,
had.
I know, but it wasn't like she's known her his whole life, or like that to kill innocent people because you killed my friend that I've known for
She
4
was
years.
killing entire cities, by the way, when she was taking over the fucking cities in God damn it, what are they
Those
called?
were justified.
No, they weren't justified. They, not to kill everybody. She was killing everybody. Whatever.
I so that's just one of the things that added to it.
One.
Jamie Lannister, the
Oh my
Kingslayer,
God.
and this is what
Fucking
leads.
fuckboy all of a
this
sudden?
is what leads to the one ending that I read from a fan written that gave me goosebumps that I feel like could have been a fucking complete success, which
hear it.
is Jamie Lannister, if you remember, was shamed with the title of Kingslayer because he's the one that stabbed the Mad King when
Yes.
he was talking about burning everyone down. So in this fans version, there's a scene where Jamie Lannister is face to face with the Night King, and he pulls out a sword made of Valyrian steel, and in the background you hear the long ago chants of the crowd saying Kingslayer, Kingslayer, and he says like, oh, you know my name, you know, it's Jamie Lannister, but most people know me by a different name. And you still hear the people chanting Kingslayer. And he takes this Valyrian steel and stabs the Night King to death. And meantime, everyone's like Kingslayer, and he gets killed in the action. And you know, it's this redemption of Jamie Lannister, who at first hated the title of Kingslayer, and now it has this new meaning, which is you fucking slayed
the Night King.
the Night King, and that so would have been fucking beautiful.
Completely agreed. And the thing is, like,
Oh, it
his
would've been
character
fucking
developed
great.
so much over the past couple seasons. He went from a character you fucking despised to
Yeah.
a character you rooted
You-
for,
yep.
just to have him run back to Cersei at the end.
That just
What
it's the worst.
Fuck!
It's a
It's not
fucking
bad.
after
I mean,
Brienne.
he loved her.
And, like,
he
it's
loved
a
her to the
dagger.
end.
Oh my
He loved her to the end.
Oh my god!
This is no different than fucking.
They died together, and that he's always loved her. He's always loved her.
No,
I didn't have
no.
the problem with that. Here's the
No.
thing.
No, man.
The one thing that I don't like is the prophecy wasn't really fulfilled, which is the prince that was promised, which is supposed to be Jon Snow.
the fuck you.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes.
That's where I
that
agree
could've
Fire
with you
and
guys.
ice.
Yes, the Song of Ice and Fire.
Yep.
Yeah, so it's
That is
supposed to
literally
be
the pop
what
socket
I
on the back of my phone. You
what
see there,
I
the Stark
what
Targaryen
I
logo.
didn't like about the ending. It's not the whole Daenerys turning, whatever. I thought that was okay. That Jamie Lannister dying with Cersei, it makes sense. Jamie Lannister was always obsessed with her sister and always just wanted to love her sister. That's all he ever wanted. the love from her and everything. But the thing what I wanted to see was really the White Walkers were built up from the beginning to be
man, winter is coming.
to be the all.
The final boss. The final boss.
Winter is coming.
All of the games of all the Game of Thrones, like all the political drama, all this human drama was in the end meaningless because with the real threat were the White Walkers, and in the end they were kind of like
flipped.
they were kind of like nothing.
They were the threat for the first 3 episodes, and then let's move on.
Yeah, like you fucking built it up, and it was like you had one episode where they actually did something, and then it was over. You know, Arya kills the Night King, everything.
Which was stolen, by the way, from Abraham Lincoln, Vampire Hunter. I posted it on my story way back when.
What the
Down
hell
to the
are you
camera angles. The way she kills the Night King
It's
is
the
literally
same
stolen from
choreography.
Abraham. Same exact choreography and camera angles.
Wow.
From her dropping the blade, camera angling underneath. Exact same thing. Abraham Lincoln, Vampire Hunter.
You think they
look
would
it
have
up.
noticed that? But
talking? Such a classic that movie.
Yeah,
It is,
Abraham
yeah.
I
It's
believe
a-
it's
it's a
nominated
cinematic
for
classic.
15 Academy Awards.
It was the first movie I saw with my wife when we were dating, and is now my son's middle name.
No lie, I
Slayer.
give that movie an 8 out of 10. The only thing that would have pushed it to a 10, if there was a canine playing basketball in that movie. If there was a scene,
Understandable.
if there was a scene where Abraham Lincoln had to teach a canine how to play basketball, because nowhere in the rule book does it say dogs can't play basketball.
No. Air Bud is also an obsession of a friend of mine named Tim, and like he owns all
job,
the
Tim.
directed DVD.
You're the other guy. I'm the two.
in the fan club.
Yeah, there's two of us.
There's two fan clubs.
There's
The
two of
Airbud
us.
Fan club.
Yeah, I
going
didn't see
strong.
you at the 97 conference, but I mean, you were
If we ever do a
probably left
live
early.
show, we should do watching this movie. Just fucking
Air Bud?
Air Bud, yeah.
Oh,
and
man.
he talks and shit.
Yeah, he fucking
I honestly have never
No,
seen
he
this
doesn't
movie.
talk in- No, those are the
He's-
kids.
he's
Those are the
fucking
kids in the
talking.
future or some shit. He does not talk in the first movie.
There he's talking
Those are-
right there.
Aren't those dogs talking?
Look, those are kids. Those are his children. The ones in Air
Yeah,
Bud's
you're right.
11 through
I
28.
haven't seen it, so I have no idea.
You're
what the
obviously
fuck.
playing the trailer to Airbud 4, Airbud's Revenge. Airbud's Revenge. So just only play the Airbud preview. But
Okay, going back to Game of
I
Thrones.
read it. I don't know why, but I thought of like a pirate movie, like Blackbeard style.
Airbud's Revenge with dogs. Yeah, no. So
So anyway, yeah, going back to this, thank you, producer. The whole thing with the White Walkers is what really irked me because it should have been the final episode.
agree.
It should have been the final battle. And maybe you wouldn't have had the turn with Daenerys because she would have seen that this is what really matters is to save humankind. And maybe you could have seen Cersei finally like see that her fucking like obsession with the throne was completely meaningless when it comes to what's going on here.
I agree with that, and like I feel like there was so much bullshit of like the idea that if you thought there was gonna have a happy ending, you weren't paying attention, and like subverting expectations. Like
Yeah,
I
I never
an
expected
excuse.
a
I saw,
happy ending.
no, exactly, but like I've seen some badass fan art that I will send everyone here, and
Well,
maybe
here's
audience
the
members.
thing.
Hold on.
Okay.
Of everyone at the end being White Walkers. And the Night
that
King
would've
is
been
now
cool.
that owns everything, and
That
just
would've been
having
too dark,
that
though.
as an ending.
That would have been too dark.
Here's what I know that the prophecy, if you know the prophecy is that so the prince that was promised, there's another name for it.
The one that will bring the balance to the force.
And then so
was
in
the
order
last
in order
episode.
to kill so god damn it, I can't remember the goddamn name of
Aegon?
the
Snow?
red queen. She talks about a different name.
Melisandre.
She's
Melisandre.
Yeah, I know,
Melisandre.
but there's another name for it. Anyways, in
The red woman?
in the prophecy, the
God of
prince
Light?
that was promised kills his love to create the sword of fire, which ends up destroying the evil that is
That was a storyline.
yeah, so it could have been awesome to actually fulfill that prophecy, in which Jon Snow still kills Daenerys, as it happens in the
show.
current ending, but he does it in order to actually destroy the Night King because that's the only way to do it. So it would have been a tragedy in a
Oh,
sense
yeah,
because
I would've liked
he would have
that.
killed Daenerys, fulfilled the prophecy,
she would have been like,
still
"Do
have
it."
been the prince was promised, and
Yeah.
so on.
Yeah.
and
I like
and,
that.
and that would have been the ending. And
Yeah.
everything would have been in a sense predictable, but it would have also have been tragic because it was told to be that way, and you're hoping, please don't let it happen that way because you love
Yeah.
these two characters and so on. And then you have that. That's what I thought was going to happen. And actually, if it would have happened, I would have been very happy with it because I didn't, in a sense, didn't want it to happen because I felt like I don't want Daenerys to die because she's one of my favorite characters. And this whole thing of having Jon Snow kill Daenerys in order to destroy the biggest evil of the White Walkers would have been good.
I really don't like that they didn't close a lot of stories. Are you okay, Arturo?
No, I'm not.
You-
This is too soon. It's only been
Caesar.
3 years.
Trust me, man. It's.
No,
we're
well,
gonna have to keep
can
it
you look
going.
up Prince That Was Promised? Other name? God damn it, Aziz Zarada.
Aegon.
It's not Aegon. Is the
Aegon
name
is Jon Snow.
of Jon Snow? Yeah, but there was another name,
Aziz Ansari.
Prince That
The
Was
only
Promised.
ending I would have accepted is if
Not
Jon and
princess.
Snow
Prince.
shared the throne. Drogon would have burnt it down. They would have read us new world, their new children that are half wolf, half dragon.
I think it's Aziz Ansari. Aziz Ansari. Oh.
what is these?
No, Prince That Was Promised. Go to all.
So I'm seeing Pedro Pascal on the screen, who is also known as the Mandalorian.
Go to the wiki. Go to the
that
wiki.
one.
Go to the
Oh,
wiki. Go to the wiki. There's keep going down. Keep going down. God, I'm sorry. I have to understand. I have to know this name.
Melisandre.
According to
Red
Melisandre, the Red
Priestess.
Priestess.
Azor Ahai. There we go.
Azor Ahai. Yeah, Azor Ahai was big in the books. That's
Azor
true.
Ahai.
And that's the thing that I was trying to.
So the myth of Azor Ahai is that he killed his love in order to bring about Lightbringer.
Yes.
In order to destroy the evil, right?
And that's what I was trying to get to is that the thing about this show is that they opened up a lot of possible circles and then never closed them.
Yeah, that's
there
true.
was Baratheon's bastard son. Fucking what was his name?
Oh,
Who-
yeah,
who was
Arya's
sent off-
boyfriend.
Yeah, he was sent off on a ship by Melisandre by the Onion Trader. Like, what, they're gonna try to sacrifice you? Get out of here!
And what an
you were like,
amazing
oh, he's
runner
gonna-
he turned out to be.
Yeah.
I mean, he ran from like another side
exactly,
of the, and
yeah.
made it to the wall in less
Like
than
fucking
a night.
18 minutes.
Those are the nitpicks that I do agree with in season 7.
Somehow
the
told
Ravens
everybody
how
where
quick
to
they
go,
were.
and Daenerys
Especially
got
when
there.
the first few seasons they really focused on like
long it
let's
takes
have
to get
6
point A to point
episodes
B.
of Jon Snow getting from
Traveling.
fucking Winterfell to Westeros.
But those are the books. Like a lot of the books is about traveling.
Which is fine. Keep that going. Don't suddenly in season 7 fucking suddenly
everybody's
create
flying
jetpacks
across the
for
country.
everybody.
The Ravens are
continent.
faster than Lightspeed at
Yeah.
that point, which I will admit is a nitpick of mine in season 7.
Yeah.
I don't think it's a nitpick. They just decided it's not a nitpick when you've
It's a
basically.
glaring plot hole.
Yeah,
What do you think about the Red Wedding?
The Red
Oh
Wedding is
my
fucking awesome.
Fucking Red Wedding,
again,
man.
That's the biggest roller coaster of my
Yes.
life, like of
Yes.
TV, like ever, like so much.
It was.
I just can't.
See, by then I had already looked into the books.
And to be honest, the Red Wedding in the series is actually more brutal than the Red Wedding in the books because in the books, the wife does not die. In the TV
Oh,
show,
that's right.
she's
She
pregnant with the
becomes-
child,
Stab, stab,
and they stab the fucking pregnant belly and everything like that. I'm telling you, Noel, you're gonna love this fucking show. We already just fucking spoiled all the great things.
Yeah, man.
And it's actually more brutal. What if you guys read the books?
I
Right.
haven't read past the first two.
You haven't read that, but you've read them
have,
all.
yeah.
So you know in the books,
She becomes
God damn it, Cat Stark.
Caitlin Stark,
Caitlin
yeah, zombie
She
chick.
becomes she becomes another.
What's her name? I forgot the name of it.
Ah,
She
God
has her
damn
throat
it.
Open.
Yeah, because
She
she's
has to
sliced
hold
open
it.
and she's
What the fuck is her name? I can't
That-
remember what her name
That
is.
is
what she
that is
becomes.
something that's still in the balance in the
Yep.
books because you don't know
Yep.
what kind of important role she's gonna play. She's not in the TV show at all, but in the books, she's very important.
Yeah,
Yeah.
a lot of
Lady
and
Stark.
that's the thing, is that a lot of the characters and storylines in the books are being built up to like a huge possible influence or change. Whereas in the TV show, they were just like, never mind. He wandered off into the woods and we never saw him again. The end. You know? So I'm
Another thing that was bad about the show is that they pretty much just completely forgot about the wolves, man. The wolves were just thrown to the side.
When did you see it? I guess they didn't have the budget to CGI fucking
There were so many
direwolves.
memes of the direwolf, especially Ghost at the very end.
Yeah.
Yeah, like they're just thrown off to the side when they're such a big deal in the first season and into the second season, and then they just get forgotten. And that's one of the things that actually sucks about it because they are very important to what the Starks, who the Starks are as a family, and that they're all they're all able to warg into their
Yes.
into their
Into their own
wolves.
direwolves.
Yeah. So That was completely like just forgotten because
Brand the Builder, the whole Brand
Bond
being able.
Builder?
broken.
But no. The uncle, Ned had two brothers.
Oh, yeah,
Benjen
yeah.
Stark.
Yeah, mentioned. I remember.
And
Benjen.
then Brand the Builder, who was said to have helped with the creation of the
No,
you
grandfather. Brand the Builder is a
Grandfather.
historical.
but it was still a Stark. It's who Brandon was named after. He was named after
his brother who was killed. by the Mad
but
King.
There was also no.
There was
Brandon Stark.
Brand the Builder was the one who built the wall.
Right. Who was a Stark.
Yeah, he
And
was
Brandon Stark, the guy who was in a wheelchair, was named after him.
Yes.
So a lot of people were saying that because he had the ability to warg into the past, that you were going to find out that the younger Bran had warged back to the
I heard
Bran
that
the
fan
Builder
theory.
and knew already what the plan was and was the one who created it. So it was like this time loop of, oh shit, I know that the White Walkers are coming, so we need to build a wall, which is why the Bran the Builder decided to build a wall because of the younger. It's a paradox. It's a paradox, but in the books, it's a theory.
Do you think if season 8 and 7 theoretically were handled better, that we would be focusing so much on the shortcomings versus on all the awesomeness that was Game of Thrones?
I mean, but I do think Game of Thrones as a show is one of the best shows.
Oh, as a whole,
that's
it still
ever
is.
existed.
Forever.
I mean, it's not the greatest. They didn't stick the landing, but I mean, it's fucking awesome.
Top
Like
five, for sure.
again, the first 5 seasons, in my opinion, are fucking great.
Yes.
And there's some great moments. The Red Wedding, the Purple
Battle of the
Prince,
Bastards.
the Battle of the
The
Bastards.
Purple Prince.
Yeah,
Yes.
I mean, all these episodes were great. Let's talk about the new series because we
House
talked
of
a lot
Dragon.
about Game of Thrones. Let's
Yeah.
talk about the new series before we end this. I'm really loving it.
Same.
I've seen 4 episodes
Every episode
so
keeps
far.
getting better.
Same.
Somehow.
and-
Spoilers
and-
for House of Dragon. I
yes,
do know.
yes, spoilers.
I do know some of you probably haven't been caught up with the latest episodes.
And
so.
I would recommend it. I think it's a return to form.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I really love. I don't know the actresses, but I really love the main Rhaenyra, the girl who plays Rhaenyra. She's
Yes.
fucking great.
Yes.
And I don't know how old she is, but she's beautiful.
22.
She has a really.
Oh, good, beautiful.
Where is she? I don't see
So
her. up there.
beautiful.
Our producer walked away from the desk as he was scrolling.
Yeah.
Thank God she's 22. Just beautiful.
She has a really weird off bite. I don't get me wrong. She is beautiful.
There is
and she's
something
perfect for
about
the
her
role.
that just
Millie Alok.
a lock.
I knew it started with an M, but
Millie
it
is
could
she
be
Alok.
like Scandinavian or something?
maybe I don't know.
Yeah, but she's
Yeah.
great.
She has a very
I,
protruding jaw.
I
Very
love
noticeable.
I love her. She's a great actress.
She really is. She does.
This last
She fucking
episode, by
nails
the
it.
episode 4 was actually
Yeah.
my favorite episode. Lots of awesome sex in it. I mean, there's some great insensual love affairs.
Alleged between
Alleged.
the uncle.
A legend.
Yeah.
I mean, well, Matt Smith is fucking killing it too. Speaking of Targaryens,
And
Matt Smith, I'm really
Owning
enjoying.
that role. And the
is which one's Matt Smith? I'm sorry.
He's,
Damon.
Excuse me.
Damon, the
Damon. Oh
brother.
yes, he
My
is
crazy
great.
brother.
my son.
Yes,
Yeah.
yes, he's great.
Well, I mean, just the fact that like he's one of those characters you love to hate, and even more so love to hate. You know, like
He loved to love as well. He's
He's badasses.
kind of like fucking Lannister in a way, in the sense
Tyrion?
that
No.
the other
Jaime?
one,
Jaime.
the Kingslayer, Jaime Lannister, in the sense that he's sort of a bad guy, but you can see that there's some good in him.
Yeah.
And so he's sort of this sort of like anti-hero kind of guy.
hearing that he's George R. R. Martin's favorite character too.
And I've
really
actually
gets me excited
read
to
the
see this
books in
storyline.
which I've actually read the book in which this show
Blood?
is based on. So I actually know what happens. I know everything that's gonna happen. Except the thing is about the book, this particular book, which is it's called
Fire and Blood.
Fire and Blood. That's right. God, man, I'm doing so many Fire and Blood.
said it like 2 minutes
It's written. I guess I don't hear things.
Yeah. I don't even hear you say that either.
I didn't.
I
And
think it's called Fire and Blood.
yeah.
Producer,
Clearly
please point
Arturo
out.
did it.
Thank you, Noel. when I
Fire,
said
so
that.
Fire and Blood is written like kind of like a history book in a way. So it doesn't give you a lot. There's detail, but it doesn't really go super into detail like the actual Song of Ice and Fire books go into, where you get to actually get into
Don't
the
put up
perspectives.
timelines because you might do spoilers just for the audience that hasn't seen.
Yeah. So in the Song of Ice and Fire books, you get into perspective, so you get a lot of detail, what people are thinking, everything like that.
Yeah.
In Fire and Blood, it's a maester telling a story, basically telling the history of Westeros.
Dude, okay.
And it starts way before this particular where this starts. It goes into the beginning of the Targaryen when they conquered, and they go into the end of Dance and Dragons, which is this is what it's all about. And so you don't get a lot of detail. So there's some detail in here that is really cool that you don't really get in the books. So I love it.
I fucking love hearing that. It's funny because you mentioned that because I haven't read Fire and Blood on purpose, but so I mentioned this on the other podcast I host. Enjoy the show, sci-fi, horror, things of that nature. But we did talk about Game of Thrones.
Enjoy the show podcast.
Or enjoy the Dragon. Fuck House of the Dragon.
Enjoy the dragon fun.
On Enjoy the Show. We talked about House of the Dragon.
Yes.
Like our opening thoughts, but like I remember going into this way before it wasn't even announced. Thank you. I was really, really hoping that this would open up with Drogon flying Daenerys to like an island.
I heard that.
And then she being kind of recovered and healed by like her people, this and that, and then all around the fire, she gets told this story. And then that's the replay, kind of like what you're just apparently
So bringing back
reading
Emilia
of
Clarke.
history,
and
they're reading to her the story of House of the Dragon.
She's dead, man.
Hey, you know
She's
what?
dead.
I'm not
Clearly
ready.
dead.
I'm not ready.
She's dead.
Blame the double D. She's dead.
But that was just my idea.
That would have been awesome.
Yeah.
That would have been awesome because it would have given some sort of
Closure, in a sense.
Yeah. Oh, she didn't die in the season 8 of Game of Thrones. She's still alive. Good for her. And
Yeah, and
now she
then-
continues the story.
Right. But then in my head, too, having this now be a retelling, if there were any inconsistencies, that gives you a safety net. Because it's something that's being
Yeah.
retold. But
I think what you're gonna find is, you know how you guys were all saying like, I can't believe Daenerys turned and whatnot. Man, maybe I shouldn't say this.
No, say
Never
it.
mind.
It's
Never
out.
mind.
No,
Never mind.
fucking say it.
Now I'm
say
already
it.
pissed off.
God damn it, say it so I can disagree with you.
I'm just
You're
you guys-
wrong.
I'm just saying you guys are already seeing the parallels between Rhaenyra and Daenerys, right? You guys are seeing this.
Yeah, of
Yeah.
course.
Okay, I'm just saying that's all. And so Rhaenyra is. I mean, actually, in the original Game of Thrones show, there's a lot of talk. If you go back and watch it, there's a lot of talk about like you remind me of Rhaenyra and during this whole Dance of Dragons thing or anything like that. So there's some parallels going on, and that's something to keep in mind.
What do you think about the time jump that they're gonna do? Because
I'm not ready.
They're gonna change
I'm
the
not
actors
ready.
and act or
Like,
not. There's
really?
some two.
Rhaenyra's gonna change?
Rhaenyra and Alicent. Yeah.
No.
Rhaenyra and Alicent are gonna change.
Are you saying Allison?
Alicent.
Alicent.
Dude, they've really owned their roles the last couple episodes. It's
Yeah.
going to be hard to see them go.
Yeah.
Yeah, when
So
is
this-
the time
this
jump
next-
supposed to happen?
After this next
After the next
episode.
episode,
So
yeah.
this-
So
Oh,
halfway
so we're
through.
losing this entire cast?
No, we're just
just
losing
the two
Millie
of them.
and Emily.
Yeah.
Oh man,
Just the two of them.
I fucking love them, both of them. They're
Oh
fucking
man.
That
I
can
don't
I,
know how
can, we're gonna go into spoilers of House of Dragons, but okay. So just I know that the sex scenes, by the way, and I'm not talking about how hot they were. They were hot, but it's a great juxtaposition between what's happening with Alicent and what's happening with Rhaenyra.
Oh, yeah.
Got
and
it.
what's
Yeah.
going on there,
Got it.
and like the pleasure that Rhaenyra is feeling and having to choose her partner and things like that, and Alicent basically being unfortunately like meant to just pop out airs
Reproduce.
and whatever.
Yep.
Yeah. She's nothing. She's just a vessel
Well,
basically.
did you see the
unfortunately.
behind the episode or like at the very end where they like discuss inside the episode?
No, I didn't see that. No.
Oh, it discusses more on exactly what you're talking about in that comparison. And
Yeah,
the fact
yeah.
that this episode was directed by a woman who directed 4, 5, and 9. And she was talking about, I forgot her name, but she was talking about how it was really important to her the way she was going to portray it because she's seen so many sex scenes growing up directed by men. And having that perspective versus now actually being in a woman's seat, and then because Rhaenyra does take charge,
Yeah,
like
yeah.
in both
It
of
was
her sex scenes or with
so
partners.
sexy. God
So like
damn.
just having that power be swapped around for hers, like
Oh,
I thought that was
Millie.
really interesting.
Millie Alcock.
Which again, I'm talking narratively. Sam's
No,
over here
I'm
somewhere.
sorry, Arturo. Continue. Continue.
No, I just thought that was really interesting because it did paint it differently. Like Millie or Rhaenyra was the one in control.
Yeah.
Was the one
Yes.
in power.
Yeah.
Yes, she was.
Like
Yeah, I'm
she was
interested.
gonna get some regardless.
I'm interested in seeing where Damon's storyline and plan goes to with his. I thought like, oh, good, he's back in the circle.
Yeah.
He made peace with the king. He won the war, and then he's now king of his own lands, and things are good. And then the fucking episode ends with just that turn of someone spied you. With the princess at a brothel, and
I
which
really
is
love that. All that brothel scenes were great. God.
yeah. I think we
Just
get
needed
that
some
Sam.
more floppy wieners.
more brothel scenes if you're listening HBO Max.
Sam demands it.
All I'm
whatever
saying is
reason.
thank you for bringing back the nudity. There was a point at the end of Game of Thrones where it's just like, oh, we can't show much nudity. Everybody's complaining about the nudity and blah, 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 blah,
the
blah.
price you pay
Like,
for
no,
getting big
this
and
is
famous.
Game of Thrones. There's nudity.
Yeah.
Fucking A.
It's the
Accept
price you
it.
pay, man.
It's what it is.
And
what
it's
it is.
expositional nudity too. Things are
Yes.
happening that are important. during the
Yes,
set.
yes. It was very
Sure.
exposed. Good observation,
I'm talking
Arturo.
about exposition, not necessarily being
Oh,
exposed.
oh,
Two
I'm
very
sorry.
different things.
I
Yeah,
didn't. No,
uh,
I thought you meant about
How many
exposure.
episodes? How many episodes
10.
is the season?
10.
10 episodes.
10, yeah.
10 episodes.
Going back to the
And,
good old 10.
It ends
So
on
5?
October 23rd.
I'm very interested to see how long this goes because I really don't
October
want it.
23rd.
No.
No,
What I'm
as a
saying is
series,
like
yeah.
I really don't want it to go for too many seasons.
True.
I want it to be kind of
Like a Breaking Bad or a Better Call Saul, where it's like
even less. Like I hope.
really less.
I hope
No.
it's like at most 3 seasons. I really do.
of 10 episodes
no,
each season.
Yeah,
No,
like
that's
a nice.
30 episodes, man.
Me-
That's
me
not
Yeah,
enough.
personally-
the Dance
Okay,
of
so
Dragons is
3 for
really
you.
just a war that happens.
You
right?
can stop watching
Lester,
after 30 episodes.
How many would you like?
I
How many
would
seasons?
say no more than 5. No more
No.
than 6. No
Don't.
more. No, okay, 5. I'd say 5 is the
5?
cap. 5 is the. I think you can stretch it out to 5.
3 seasons and end it because there's way more story. It's just
What are you, the BBC? No, dude.
I'm just
this
saying
isn't
like
the BBC.
you're going to get. We're gonna
You're
have the
just-
same problem.
I'm sorry,
here.
dude. You're the Office, BBC,
That's
two,
good.
2 fucking seasons. Sherlock Holmes, BBC, like
Being
3
human,
fucking
3
seasons.
seasons.
I know, and that's why they're so memorable because you just have.
Yeah, but
I
imagine
mean,
what could have
Less
been.
is more,
No,
people.
Man.
Don't do the same mistake that they did last time.
I'm sure
Don't
you
do
like
the
to
same
believe
mistake.
less is more.
Less is
Oh,
more.
we're talking about floppy wieners.
It's
earlier.
not always a
We
thing.
need to have more floppy wieners.
No, dude.
I'm just gonna say I need 13 minimum.
At least 13 floppy winners. You're right.
No, seasons.
Exactly. 13
That's a big
floppy
number, Arturo,
wieners.
but I know you can take it, man.
13 floppy
You
wieners.
can do it.
No,
I think I can
honestly,
go with a
5.
good
I think
dozen.
I like 5 seasons. I think that's a good one.
3.
I
Do
think
3.
5
think
seasons
5.
tops. No
3
more
or
than
less.
5. No more than 5, no less than 3. Let's call it a safe 43 episodes.
43?
With the holiday special, making it
You need a
44.
holiday special. Yes.
Yeah.
All right.
Agreed.
What do you got? Any other go backs before we?
I
we
mean,
end it
fuck,
here,
the
guys?
season isn't over yet. So if this season ends and I am excited for more, then it somehow was able to redeem Game of Thrones for me.
I think it already,
Already
did.
has.
I think it already did.
Yeah, you're
They've
right.
done a really, really
You're
good
right.
job. I'm very happy with what they've done so far.
Season 8 really fucking hurt me though.
You know
man.
what
I
would
don't
be
know if I can
interesting?
just
See, this
say
is why I don't
no.
want it to go on
No.
forever because again, this is about the War of the Dance of Dragons, this show, and there's you could end it and then you could do the Baratheon rebellion
Oh, yeah, I really
you
like
can
that
do
spin-off.
you can do another 2 seasons.
Henry Cavill as young Robert.
Oh, with the fucking beard.
Yes. It's fucking
No, but how do
perfect.
you go from Henry Cavill to fucking Robert Baratheon in Game of Thrones?
Well, he does get
Age.
fat.
Yeah.
You would have to say
You
he
powdered
drank a potion.
donuts.
I drank a potion that shrunk me and made me fat. Arrgh, and made me into a
gets
pirate.
really
Who's
fat.
Googling his Game of Thrones on Disney Plus? How could it ever?
It's on
be
HBO
Disney
Max.
Plus?
Come on.
Are you using Bing
Yeah,
again?
that's why I don't want it
God
to. I don't
damn
want
it,
it to stretch
Noel.
out, man. Just
Yeah.
do like a nice compact 3
Yeah,
seasons
5
at
seasons.
most. No, 5 seasons is not compact.
5 is it?
3 seasons is good, and then you can go into the
I
Baratheon
need enough time
rebellion.
to warrant my
No.
Game of Thrones sleeve.
Oh, that'd be nice. That'd be very nice.
There's so many stories that can be told. You
Look,
don't have to spend.
under the right helm, I feel like any number of episodes and seasons
Yeah.
for Game of Thrones would work
And it's
under
already
the right
on
helm,
the right direction, yeah.
and with the right people in charge. Fuck the Dumb and Dumber brothers, but if they did it right, I don't mind fucking 8 seasons. I don't mind 10 seasons. I don't mind 15 seasons. If they
Don't
did
do
it right.
fucking 10 seasons.
If they did it right, they can do it. There's so much in this universe to expand on, even if it's not a continuing story. Even if it's like
Again,
seasons
you
1
can
and
do
2.
I'm
other
down for a full season of just dragons.
Seasons 1 and 2 was Robert's Rebellion. Seasons 3 and 4
Robert's
was
Rebellion,
Old
that's
Valyrian. Season 6 and 7 was fucking
Old Valyrian would be cool.
Exactly. So there's so much in this universe that you can literally do countless number of seasons if they
Exactly,
do it
but
right.
it can't be called the House of the Dragon if you're talking
No,
about
we're
Robert's
talking about-
Rebellion.
we're talking about
the
just
next
Game of
show
Thrones.
could be Robert's Rebellion. Is what I'm saying.
I guess. Oh, I see what you're saying. Yeah, no, I don't know.
I
how
just
long.
want to keep seeing the universe expand.
Yeah, same,
Yeah, it's great. Read the
same.
books.
Expand the universe.
And George R. R. Martin, finish the fucking books before you
Finish,
die. For
dude.
fuck's sakes,
I
fucking finish it.
the end. That's it. Wherever you are, just right now. The end. Send it to
And
your publisher.
there's still it's 2 left. We got Winds
Yes.
of Winter and Dream of Spring or whatever.
two.
You give
Yeah.
Jon Snow a sonic screwdriver. You give Jaime Lannister a lightsaber, and then you give Cersei maybe like one of the rings of power, and then just fucking end it that way. I'm fine with that. Just fucking end it, please,
Yes.
guys.
Good night. We really fucking
Good
made
night.
some sense of this,
Made
morons.
some sense?
Morons, we made some sense.
Yeah, man.
So
For anyone who's still watching, fucking good on you.
Good night.
Good night.
Good fight.
oh, that's it. Okay, well, you can remember $1
yes.
a month Patreon.
Yes, that's right. Thank you.
Fuck, that was close. You
Oh.
almost hit pause.
Arturo.
Subscribe.
And subscribe
to all these
like,
things.
and follow
Share.
and share and
Like.
rate.
We
Tell
have
your friends and
yes,
family.
all those things. We have an upcoming Supernatural episode
Ooh,
on
yeah.
the Supernatural, not the TV show.
That's
but
actually
just,
probably already happened by the time.
true.
we-
Yeah.
True. I hope you enjoyed the Supernatural episode.
Just send it.
It came out
Just send it
last week.
wherever you are.
Floppy wieners.